Welcome to the day 9 of our 30 days AI automation challenge. Gradually, we are moving. So today we are going to be building an automated content generator agent in n8n using HTTP. What we'll be doing today is very simple. We want to create an agent that will look up, we will create topics in our Google search sheet. So we will now create an agent that will look up our topics in that Excel sheet, and then we'll now research on Google by itself, write an article based on that topic, and then refill our file back. And all we have to do is just go there and then pick the write-up and post on our social media. We can even tell the AI, we can even create another node that will automatically post it from the Excel directly on our social media. But for today, we won't be doing that one. We'll only be stopping here. So we'll create everything, create the sheets and create everything like this. Is that okay? So now this is what we are going to be building today. Let's do it step by step. And of course, help me subscribe to the channel. So we are still going to be using the n8n on our cloud. Even the local one, we can still use it because we have already created the Google credentials and OpenAI from the day 8, right? So this is it. So here, let me click on here, and what you should do here is we want to add a schedule. Let me click here and see on a schedule. Why? Because it's supposed to be scheduling the post. So it's not something that's happening now. It's something that you want it to be doing it maybe day by day by day. You do it. Don't worry, when I go to the Google sheet I will explain more. So we have it here and we click on it here. So these are the days. Then how many days do you want it to post per day? So you can leave it at 1 or you can leave it at 2. Is that okay? How many times do you want it to be generating the content per day? And then the trigger hour, let's say you want it at a specific time of the day. So you can say, okay, I want you to be doing the job, to be writing the article every 11 a.m. every morning. Is that okay? The trigger at minute, you can leave it at 0, or you can even say 11:59 a.m. or 11:50 a.m. So that's what we're trying to write, 11:50. So you can leave it at here, and then let's remove it. So of course it has been created here, and then you can now do it. But remember, most of the things we have been doing here are things that will happen live. With what we are doing here is testing, but these are things that you are supposed to do live. Is that okay? So this is what you are supposed to be doing live. But if we use this on a schedule, it means that we'll be using our own personal OpenAI keys, all right, and of course our own Google credentials. So we are not actually using this live. We want to test it. Is that okay? So I can just remove it and keep it somewhere else, and let's start another trigger. And because this one we are actually testing, so we'll now start the testing from the beginning. So I'll just click on this here and add a trigger, and the trigger I want to add is just the manual one, the one that we are testing, right? So I just click on add another trigger, and then you can see a lot of triggers here. You remember we have used on form submission and all of this, but we want the manual one that we can actually configure and use it. You can see it here. So this is the one that we are now going to start building on. Why? Because this one we are actually testing. We will not use it live on any of our website. We're actually trying to test it here. But assuming I want to use it live on my website and it's something I want to start building, this is the one I'm supposed to use. I hope you understand now. All right, so let me take it here, and then the next thing for you to do is now to connect it to your Google sheet. Now see it here. See here, the next thing is Google sheet. But then before you connect your Google sheet, you must ensure that you have created that Google sheet. We have been doing this, right? So this should not be very hard for you. So I wanted to create a Google sheet. The title of the Google sheet I created is post, and then here I now create topic. This is the title, this is the subtitle. Let me bold it, and then you can see it. Then here I put some topics: how to make money with an AI in 2026, 6 ways to live healthy, and then UK vs US lifestyle, which is better. These topics are just generated by myself. And then under the status, I actually click on to do. Is that okay? Then the content, where after it writes the content, it will now fill the content. Now the status is, now we say the AI is writing it every day. So we don't actually want it to a situation where it will write this one, and if I try to execute again, it will still come and still write this one. So we want a situation where after it has written this one, this to do should automatically change to created. That means it has been done. Is that okay? It has been created. So you have to put to do and bring this top down. How do you do this top down? Let me show you how to do the top down. So after you can maybe type to do here, click on here, and then come to insert. Then under insert, you can see what we have here, drop down. It automatically create a drop down for you. So let me just automatically put the topic, see what is AI in 2026. And you see, so you can see that we now have another topic here. So that's just basically how to do this. We just want it in a situation where after it has written this content, it should not repeat it. It should move to the next one, and this to do should automatically change to created, done, and then the content should be filled somewhere here. Is that okay? So create something like this, and then we'll now come back to our automation, and then let's add the node. So we click here, and then we'll now type sheet. So let's type sheet and click on sheet. Now we are going to add get rules in a sheet. Now we have been using append or update a rule in a sheet, but this one is not updating the sheet. Is that okay? It's actually going directly to the row to pick something, to pick a topic and write for us. So we're actually choosing get rules in a sheet. So we click on get rules in a sheet, and now here we are now confronted with the file to now be configured. You should know about this as well. So let me come here, and of course we are using these Google API keys, and then let's come here. This one is okay, operation get rules, and then let's choose this one. Okay, we did not choose the right credentials. Let me choose the second one. Remember, I created this in the day 8. So from here we now click on here, and then choose that our form is post. Is that okay? And what is the sheet? The sheet is sheet 1. Is of course only one sheet that I have. And then from here we now have the next thing to do. So the next thing to do is now to add a filter, and a filter, I just click on the filter. The filter here is what should be a unique identifier. So we are actually trying to use this status here as a unique identifier. That is to say that if after it has been created here, it should show that it is done, right? So that is what we are trying to do. So let me come back to my n8n, and then I click under the colon. I will choose status. Is that okay? So under the value, what is the value of the status from the form? It is to do, right? So it is to do, that is under the form. That's the value. So that is it here. So you can add more filter, but for now let's try to troubleshoot what we have done. So let me click on execute step. Let me click on execute step. It should be able to show us, right? Okay, so you can see that it has shown us everything here, and you can see that these are the topics, this is the status, and the content is empty because it has not written anything. And of course the input is also here. But if you check, you see that it gives us all the topics that are in this our Google Sheet. So, but that's not what we want. We want it to finish one topic at a time, returning the rows from one row to another. So because if you leave it like this, it will actually be, if you click on execution, it might attempt to write all the topics, and this is not what we want. We want it to be writing it row by row, that is each topic by each topic, row by row. So we actually want only one to be appearing here, just like that and just like that. So but to do that, we can just come down and click on add options, and then click on return only my first matching rule. Is that okay? Return only my first matching rule, and then this one, toggle it on, return only my first matching rule. And with this we are done. Let's just click on execute again and see what we have done. It should be able to show only one. Of course you can see it's showing us only one, which is how to make money online. So this is how it will work. So from here, you know, it keeps working like that from row to row and row to row. So with that, we are done with this. We can now click on enter, and then we now back here. You can see that everything is showing in red, meaning that it is working. So the next thing for us to do is now to add our next node. And what is our next node? Our next node is actually this, which is the HTTP request. Is that okay? So we can just click on this node, of course, and then here we now type HTTP, and then you see HTTP request here. So click on it, and of course normally you will have to configure it. So here we have method, we have get, delete, all of these. We will leave it at get, and then the URL is not here. Is that okay? And then the stone here. Now this URL, you need to actually get it, and so that is this URL that will automatically fill up everything here. Now we need to actually use a website that will give us the CURL that will now import to automatically fill this. And to do that, we have to go to a website called Tavily. No, not Tavily. Tavily, right? Tavily. This is the website. So all I want you to do is you can log in All right, so you can sign up. Is that okay? Log in or sign up. I already have an account. I'll try to sign up or either log in, anyone, but I'll show you how it's being done. So this is it, and all I have to do is I want to sign up with my Google account, so I'll click on continue with Google account. So let me choose this particular one. So once I register, it brought me here, and then what I have to do next is now to create our API keys. There are a lot of things we are going to do here, but the very first one is to create the API keys, right? So to create our API keys, you can see that I already have some here. So you just have to click on here, and then you can now just name it anything. Is that okay? So let me just say Facebook post. All right, Facebook post, and then that is our API keys, and I click on create. Right now the API keys for Facebook post has been created, but beyond, we cannot copy this and use, but this is not the API key. We are still going to use it, but we need the CURL. Is that okay? This thing here, this thing I showed you there, the CURL, we need it. So, and we still need to go ahead to do it. To do that, let's go back to the website and then click on documentation. And then under documentation, it should be able to show us this. So under documentation, you can now come to where we have API and SDKs. That okay? So this is where you see what is Tavily. Now let's even understand what is Tavily. Tavily is actually a research tool that help you to research online, and that's what we want to use this. We want to tell the automation we are building, the HTTP, to use Tavily to actually research online, to build us our articles, to write us our article. We don't want the AI to write the article by itself. We want it to actually research online for the trending, and it will use this Tavily this thing. So this is the core function of AI. It will research, it extract, it crawl, and it map. Is that okay? We are interested in search. Is that okay? Click on search, and then when you click on search, you can see that we now have all of these things here. So you can see that we now have CURL here. If in case you can't find CURL here, please click on this, and you can see that we have JavaScript, Python. Then you cannot change it back to CURL. So once you copy to CURL, just copy this. Once you copy the CURL, go back to your n8n, and you can now see here. Please click on import CURL and then paste it here. We don't have anything to do with all this information. Is that okay? Nothing concerning with the information. Just paste it here and click on import. Now when you click on import, it's going to automatically fill everything for you. You can see that the URL is now here, and then see it here. So we have this one, specify here, specify here. See what it copies for us, and it's also here, right? Is that okay? So I think what we need to do, we still need to do one or two things here, right? And what we need is the token, and the token is actually the API keys that we created from Tavily, right? So this is the token, and this Facebook post I created. So I will now copy it, and then come back to my this thing, and then just delete this token that is in front of the broker, bearer rather, and then paste the token here. Is that okay? That's all. Now let's proceed again. That's all, and then let's scroll down again. Now this is what it will automatically fill from Tavily. So they said this is a query, and let me expand it so that you can be able to see it clearly, and then expand it here. Now you can see that this is what is showing us. This is what brings us here. So what you need to do is, you see the query is, who is Leo Messi? It means that the AI is going to be responding based on who is Leo Messi, but we don't want Leo Messi here. So right, we want it to obey what will be given. So right, so what we can do is you can delete this. You can click on this and delete it. Is that okay? Delete it. So we can now pick our topic. So because we want it to write based on our topic, so we don't want Leo Messi, we have deleted it. So just hold the status, sorry, not status, please, the topic, hold it, and then come to the center. Please ensure that it's in the center, and then leave it there. You can see that it's showing green here, and it's showing, we just put topic, and the topic has been appeared there, how to make money with AI in 2026. It means that it's working. So you can see that's how you can reset, change some of these things. But I still want to put something at the back of here. I will just say, right, so I just put this. I said search the web for articles related to, and I put this, right? So and I put in related to my topic. So it's going to help search the web on that. This is the keyword I use. If you don't want to use this keyword I just used, there is no problem, but for me I just want to put it, so I just put it here. And then let me scroll down. Okay, I think we are done with something here. Now let's close it, and now let's try to even execute what we have been doing. So let me execute, and you can see, right, that it has started writing something for me. So this is content, and see, this is make money with AI in 2020, 10 proven ways to earn money. You can see it has written some content for me on it. That's okay, but there is something I want you to do. I still want you to expand this. Let's expand it again, then expand it, and they say maximum result. We want it to give us like up to 3 results, right? So I'll just put 3. I'll change it from 1 to 3, right? Now let's go down again. Of course, everything, if you want to change most of all these topics, you can just change them. You can change the day, the start date, the end date, and all these things, but we don't want, I just want it to give us 3 answers based on this topic alone, so that we can combine them together and write an article that will be ranking. Is that okay? So let's close it again, and let's execute it again and see if it will give us up to three contents. Now let me scroll. It has given us, now number 1 is contents. You can come down again, you can see that we have content 2, and then you can see that we have content 3. We should have content 3, right? Because we actually put 3 content. Okay, this is the content, this is the content, and this is the content. So we now have 3 articles. Is that okay? So we now have 3 contents under this particular topic that AI is not going to combine together and write us a complete articles. So we are done with that, and we can now click and we can now exit from here. You can now see that the HTTP has shown a green tick showing that we are progressing. Is that okay? So the next thing to do is now to add the AI agent. Remember what we are building? We are still building this, right? We are building this. So the next thing to do is to add this AI agent. Is that okay? So to add the AI agent, of course, you know what to do. Click on here, and then we now have AI agent. All right, AI agents. Let me click on this. And then we still need to, of course, configure our AI agents. Now, this is where I want you to pay attention. Let's select this and say define below. We don't want you to use connected to chat. We want to define it. We want to tell it what to do. All right, so click on define below, and in the define below is a user message. Is that okay? The user message is we want it to actually use the 3 contents that from here, the 3 contents that were created for them, the AI to use the 3 content to actually generate us the overall content. Remember, these things are just briefs. They are not the real content. We just do it up to 3 so that the AI can actually combine them together and give us. So Tavily actually research online and give us up to 3 things, 3 different contents under it. Now the AI agent is now going to combine it together and give us one. Is that okay? So to fit all these variables in the user prompt, let me expand this. All right, let me expand this. Sorry, let me click on expression, of course, and then because we want to expand this, and then click on expand now, so that you can be able to see clearly. I'm expanding it so you can see clearly. All right, so here we are now going to say content 1. Let me click content 1. I will now put this first content here. This one is the first content, right? I will now pick it, and I will now place it here. Is that okay? See the result here. Is that okay? You can see the content here. So the next thing is I'll just click on 2. I will now bring in the second content, which is this one. I think this should be the second content, and then click on here. All right, the next content is this one, which is the last one. So let me click on this, drop down, and then click on 3, and then let me pick this here and click on here. All right, so we now have everything that the AI will use. Is that okay? So we are done with this particular one, and let's click it. Now let's come here. We now have to instruct the AI what to do. That is what we call system message. So we are instructing the AI what to use our content to do. Remember, we have done this system content when I gave it a long prompt. Is that okay? We're also going to do that as well. So we click on add option, and then click on system message. Now when you click on system message, this is where we want to put it. Is that okay? Now I want to give you, I'll put the prompt you'll be using in the video description, but in case you don't see it in the video description, I want to show you how I created the prompt. So I come to ChatGPT, and I say, I want you to write me a detailed prompt to give to my AI agent in my n8n. The system prompt will be used by the AI to assess the topic I have in my sheet, connected to the AI agent to research articles online using Tavily to write my trending post on Facebook. I hope you can see it. So it now generates me this prompt. So I will put the prompt in the Google video description or in the comment section, but in case you can't see it, you can generate it yourself by doing this. Is that okay? So I've copied the prompt, and then I will now come back to my n8n when I'm building, and then this is here. So let me expand it so that you can be able to see clearly what we are doing. I actually really like expanding this so that you can see it, right? So here I will now delete it, and then I'll kind of paste it here. Is that okay? So let me scroll up and see if there's something to edit. Facebook post, role, AI agent. If we want to leave it, let me remove this, and then maybe there should something down where AI said something. The final Facebook should make reader stop scrolling. Of course, everything here is okay, and then of course we have given it the prompt, and then let's close it. Now we have done because we have added the system prompt. Now let's still execute it and see what happens. So we'll click on execute. It says chat model sub model must be connected and enabled. It says chat model sub node must be connected. Why is this thing not working yet? Why? Because we have not connected the main AI that will use the work, and this is an OpenAI. So that is what we have not connected, and that's why it's not executed. So we'll actually come back to it to see if it's working. So we'll now close it, and let's close it from here, and then you can now see the chat model is here. So let's add the chat model by clicking on it, and then of course we are adding OpenAI chat model. And of course when you open the chat model, you need to set it up. So setting it up is actually very simple. We want to use the free version, and then here you can select any model. We have been doing this, so this should not be hard for you. So that's all. We are done. Let me just close it. We have actually entered our model that the AI that we'll be using to do the work. So let's double click on it and check if it's working. Let's double click on it and then click on execute step again. It should be able to work because we have connected an AI model that will be used in writing the blog post. So the AI model, which is the OpenAI, will actually use all this information given to actually generate us a post. Is that okay? So you can say you're an AI social media content researcher, Facebook content strategist, copywriter, and general. Your primary responsibility, let's scroll down. So just keep scrolling down until you see the topic, because it has written it. Okay, so okay, this is the topic: make money with AI in 2024, trending light. It has shown in 2020 AI is no longer Facebook post. Most people don't. You can see that it's here, but I think this Facebook post, if it's too long for you, you can even tell the AI to actually reduce the size. Like what you should do is you can come back to this particular system message. Let's open it again and click on it to open it. So here you can actually tell the AI that the Facebook post should not be more than, let's say, 1000 words or 500 words. You can tell it here. Is that okay? So but for me, I think I like it like that. See the content, I like it like that. Or let me just put it anywhere, and let me just put it anywhere so that you can be able to know, so that if the post is too long, I know that social media posts are not blog posts, so they are not supposed to be that long. So the post should be only, let's say, 400 words. All right, so we'll click on this, and then let's remove it back, and then click on execute again, and then it will now reduce the size of the article. That's okay, to reduce it to only 400 words. But the 400 words can even be too long again. Well, you have to know what best suits you. So you can see the articles has been generated. Is that okay? So the article has been generated, and we are done with this. We can now come here. Say here, we don't need a memory at all. Remember in the other one that we built, we needed memory, but this one, we don't need any memory. We also does not need any tool. But if you want to feed a tool to the AI so they can be able to, support the AI with what and what you need it to do. Like the other one, we added a code tool, we added Google Calendar and all of these things, support it. But for now, we don't need it. And that's why even the image we are trying to build here does not have it. Now, the next thing is, after it has written the article, what should happen? Is that okay? So it should write the article and feed it back to where we have content here, right? Feed it back to where we have content here. So we'll now go back and then add another node, and then let's put sheet, all right? Because it's Google Sheet, we have to put sheet again and click on this. Now, instead of adding get role in sheet, we are now adding update role in the sheet. All right, it's update role in the sheet and not get role. So it's actually updating it. updating the content in the sheet for this one. This one was get a row. Go in there in a row, pick a topic and write for me. Then after you write, this one is now update the content. So we'll now come here and update row in a sheet. Now, of course, we are going to configure it again with the one that is working. Let's leave it as this. And then here is update a row. And then what is the document type? We have to choose the document type, which is the post, where it's supposed to do it. And what number of sheets is just one sheet, right? So click on this. All right. Now you need to do mapping, of course, mapping of all these things. So let's do the mapping and we are done. All right, so to map out this, I think to map out this, first of all, let's select column to match. What do we want, the columns that we want to match? We want to be writing the article topic by topic, right? So we'll be matching it by topic. So to match it by topic, we click on here and then click on topic. Is that okay? So it's by topic, is writing the article topic by topic. All right, so on that topic, what we need to do, we need to do mapping, right? So the topic here is, let me open my topic. So let me expand this. All right, expand the Google Sheet here. All right, to map it, okay, let me expand the Google Sheet, and then we have topic here. All you have to do is pick topic using to match. We want you to be writing based on each topic. Of course, it's not only one topic. We have a lot of topics that could be based on each topic. And then what is the status? We have public status. Status should be, don't pick it and keep. After it has written the topic, it should show created, or it can show done. Anyone you want to make it look. What should be the content? The content should be the output of what comes out here. Is that okay? That's the result that was written. So we can now click on this output and then match it to the content. And that is all. Is that okay? That is actually all. So we can just run to execute again and let's see what happened. So let's run to execute again, and you can see that it now has how to make money online, blah blah blah. So this thing is supposed to be automatically filled in our Google Sheet, and of course everything is working, showing in blue tick. So let's go back and see if it's working. So we can now go back to our Google Sheet, and then you can see that the content has been posted. Wow, this is so nice. This is the article, and you can now make it. So let's execute it to see if it will. I can see that here it has turned to created, and others are still on to do. Okay, so let's try it again. Let's try to execute again. Execute another workflow. We want you to write the second content. It's moving from Google Sheet to here to the agent, and finally is to fill the Google Sheet. So it's still writing just in minutes. That's how AI works. It writes it just in minutes. Let's allow it to write. You see, it has written the content and it has updated it. So let's check if it has really updated it. Yes, it has updated this topic too. So if I continue to execute it again, it will keep writing the article for 4, for 5, just like that. Now for this particular thing, this is where we're going to stop today. But you can even connect your Facebook or your LinkedIn, all those things, so that it will automatically cross-post for you. This is how automation works, right? It automatically cross-post to your Facebook, to anywhere. But for today, we're going to stop here. And your assignment is pretty simple. Do whatever I have done, right? Just practice whatever I've done today, and then post the result on your Facebook, on your LinkedIn. Tell them what you have learned for day 9. Then post your results on the comment section. Your key takeaways, what you have learned from this class, on the in the comment section. Talk to 1 or 2 people in the comment section, and we are moving. Is that okay? Help me subscribe to the channel, like this video. I'll see you in the next video. Please do the assignment to do you more good than just hearing me, right? Let's go.